What's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition of Bite This. I believe this is the first edition here in the new year, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Of course, we need no introduction from the FBI. Nunzio is a special superstar guest host this week.
How's everybody doing?
And, of course, I am the coach. Now, normally Josh sits in this seat, but this week we're in a brand new studio. You really can't tell out there in .com land, but we are. So they called up the coach and they said, you know, we need some superstar power here this week, Nunzio. You know what I'm saying?
Coach, I couldn't agree. You're the best position to start off the new year, and you're the man.
Yeah, and I'm feeling a little bit cold, so I'm wearing the stocking cap. But you know, in the vein of the Royal Rumble being, it's about 17 days away. We're going to be live Sunday, January 24th. We decided to have Bite This afternoon, brought to you by both Raw and SmackDown. So we're going to get along. It's okay today.
Coach, you're my kind of person. I don't think we're going to have a problem. I like you. I watch you on Raw. I'm very happy. I see what you're doing, and I am a fan of yours.
Well, and you know I'm part Italian.
Oh, I can tell by looking at you, part Italian. I can tell.
Which is another reason they brought me in today, because they didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Full blood Italian.
Exactly.
Stick together.
So you know we've got a full show today.
Yes, we do.
We got a full show. We've got Draws in the house today. We'll be calling in. Also, Don Marie. Oh, we know how much we like Don Marie. You know
I know Don Marie a long time, Coach.
You got any stories? We'll talk about
not right now. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Later on.
And of course, also, we have a special guest calling in today, and also we have a member of the 50 Greatest Superstars of All Time, the magazine, which is on sale right now. I don't know if we can zoom in or not. If we can't, I'll go like this. There we go. Superstar Billy Graham will join us on the show this week. And this is a great magazine as well. You know, neither you or I are not in this magazine, but it's okay. We've got time, baby.
That's okay.
We got
I'm in
time.
No rush.
Yeah, exactly. So Superstar Billy Graham will be here today as well.
Not you very happy about
yeah,
it.
we are very
happy.
happy.
I'm a big fan of Superstar Billy Graham.
Absolutely. So before we get to, is Draws on the phone? I forget how much fun it is to host this show, and we're going to go straight to the phones. And Draws, I know you're on there. This is the coach. Nunzio's in the house. What's going on, pal?
What's up, guys?
How are you, Draws?
This is like heel day. That's great for you guys. It's the heel announcer day. I like it.
We're taking over, baby.
That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
You know, I know, Draws, before we get into it, this is the first Bite This of the new year. Last week, of course, was New Year's Day. How were the holidays, pal?
They were good. They were good. You know, got to hang out with the family and got up a little too early for my blood on Christmas Day to see my niece and nephews open their presents. But it was good all around, so, you know, not too bad.
Christmas is always a fun holiday.
It is a fun holiday.
Yeah, it's always a good time with New Year's.
The holidays are always good. But we're always excited to get back to what we like to call the grind, the fun grind, week in and week out. And, of course, after the holidays, Nunzio and Draws, we get set for the Royal Rumble. I know, Draws, you got a lot of thoughts on this. Are you excited for this year's Royal Rumble?
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually looking for it. I'm hoping to be able to get out there, you know, because it's in Philly this year, you know, not too far from my house. So, you know, I'm looking forward to hopefully getting out there and checking everybody out. It's been a long time since I've seen both groups together. So, you know, that especially I'm looking forward to, catching everybody there and, you know, catching up.
You know, that's one of the things, Nunzio and Draws, that really has been different as of late. As you just mentioned, Draws, with SmackDown and the Raw Superstars now completely separated, nobody ever gets to see each other until we go to the likes of a Royal Rumble.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and then, of course, Survivor Series, so it is a good time.
Well, I mean, it definitely is. I mean, you know, it's still, you know, your family. I mean, the groups you're traveling with, you have your SmackDown group and your Raw group, but I think the guys especially appreciate it on, like you were saying, those four, you know, major pay-per-views is, you know, they get to kind of see each other again because they're traveling all the time and everybody's flying here and there. And, I mean, you know, you have guys sometimes that you traveled with sometimes for years that now you're not seeing, but a couple times now because your schedules are so mixed up. But, you know, those are always great times for the guys to get together. But now, you know, you have the Rumble. It's definitely a great big get together out in the ring, so that always makes it entertaining.
And at least it gives you something to look forward to. You don't see the guys. The Royal Rumble is a big event. You get to see the guys. And so far, we got some good matches so far.
I think we do.
Signed up.
And we're going to talk about those throughout the show, Nunzio. But I want to ask you about something, Draws, because Nunzio and the FBI, they don't really like authority. We know that. I'm not particularly a guy that likes it. Yeah, you are the authority, exactly.
That's what I think.
I don't like authority. And what about this whole new, and you know how I feel about him, this whole new Sheriff Austin crap that we had to deal with this past Monday night on Raw?
I'm enjoying it. You know me. I mean, I enjoy just a little. I enjoy the humor, and I enjoy the authority, I guess. And Coach, I know you always get the bad end of the stick, man. I know.
I do.
Well, I disagree with Stone Cold did chasing Teddy around the ring last week. What is that all about?
Thank you. Finally, somebody
don't you
agrees
need a
with me.
license to drive that indoors anyway?
I was wondering about that myself. He hit the ring once. I was like, but hey, he was moving that thing quite well around that ring. But luckily, Teddy didn't fall or anything. I'd hate to see poor Teddy get run over.
Well, if you noticed, I clearly said, Theodore, if you need me, yell for me. I will come down and help you. Unfortunately,
I didn't hear him yelling.
He never yelled, Coach, I need your help.
No.
So
I agree with you, Coach.
I would have been there.
I know you would have.
Raj, you know I would have been there.
I know you would have.
You would have jumped right up and tried to help. I know you would have, but hey, if he didn't yell for you, you can only, if you didn't ask, of course hey, you can only do what you
I don't think
can.
he was in that much danger though. Anyway,
No, I mean Theodore Long's going to be fine.
He's going to be good.
Maybe a couple of weeks of rehab, he'll be good. But I was busy messing around with JR and the King. But flipping to the SmackDown side of things, Droz. Really a guy everybody's been talking about. Has really been kind of running roughshod over SmackDown the last few weeks. Has been Hardcore Holly.
He's on a rampage right now.
Yeah, I mean, not a guy you want to get mixed up with. Your thoughts on him heading to the Royal Rumble?
Oh, Bobby. I was really happy to see Bobby come back, especially from the injury. He's been back. He's been, like you said, he's been wrecking havoc, and that's what he does best. I mean, he is basically a no-nonsense, go out there, beat your ass in the ring, and sometimes literally,
and enjoys doing it,
and get the job done. And that's what he's doing now, and he's just doing what he does best. It's no-nonsense, beat 'em up style of wrestling, and he's going out there and showing everybody that he's back, he's in control. And it's his time. He's getting his shot in the basically in the spotlight, and I think he's making more than the best of it.
Droz, we only got a couple of minutes left with you, real quick. But if we can bring this back on camera, real quick, guys, I want you to comment on an article coming up in the February edition of SmackDown magazine. Not on sale yet, but will be, I believe, in a couple of weeks. January what? January 20th. I got it right here. Rey Mysterio's on the cover, but there was a great article in here on you. Kind of comment on what people can look forward to. Back here. That's Don. We got to flip back to yours, Droz, and tell us a little bit about what they can experience here. Catching Up with Droz is the name of the article coming out in just a couple of weeks.
Well, that's exactly it. It's kind of just filling people in a little bit on what's been going on since the last article, and actually. That was another thing. This article will be kind of a good filler in for people and let them know, what I've kind of been up to and things like that. Since it's been a couple of years, I guess, since they did an article in I guess it was the Raw or one of those magazines. But this is definitely going to catch people up on a little more of what's been going on. I do that in my article also, and then like I said before, I'm hoping to be able to do a confidential piece to really get people caught up and to see my face back on. On camera again. A lot of people, I get emails all the time about people wanting to see me back on, see my face back on TV again. So, this will be a good start, I guess. The magazine and the Upstart magazine. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we certainly are too, and we're going to let you go. But we appreciate it. It's great to be back on the show with you this week, as always.
It's great talking to you guys.
Take care, Droz.
Don't have too much fun today.
Hey, we'll see you in Philly at the Rumble.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That, of course, is Droz, the one and only Droz.
Good
you
man.
can read about him. He is a good man, WWE.com. And, of course, as I mentioned a few seconds ago, in the February edition of SmackDown magazine, on sale January 20th. Great article in there on Droz, and also some great pictures of Don Marie, who's going to be on the show a little bit later on. You knew if you and I were going to be on the show this week, we had to have a hot chick on the show.
Of course. They follow us around.
Come on.
If there was no hot chick on the show, I may have not even came. But then when I heard you were going to be here, thank God you are here. I thought I was going to have to sit here with Josh. Oh, Mamma Mia, what a pain in the neck that would have been.
Well, I know. I mean, I get so many emails and complaints about Josh every week. Josh Matthews, why is he even here? Why is he doing this show? So we decided to bring some star power back this week. And I want to, before we get to Superstar Billy Graham, who's going to be our next guest on the show, and by the way, if you want to ask Superstar Billy Graham or the coach or Nunzio a question, 1-888-LIVE-WWE, and you can call in live to bite this. your thoughts as we head towards the Royal Rumble? I know you guys are always in the mix. You're always, getting into it. What are your thoughts? If I'm not mistaken, this will be the first Rumble you're here for, or is this the second?
This is the second Rumble.
This is the second, okay. Time just flies by.
Yes, it does.
Time flies by.
And I am looking forward to the Rumble, and the FBI is doing everything they can to hopefully be part of the Rumble. I don't know if everybody's been watching the last few weeks. We're always in and out of things, and no guarantees, but I'm definitely, if I'm not in, I'm definitely looking forward to the Rumble, because we got some good matches going on. So far, I think there was 3 signed, and I'm going to get to them later on.
Right.
But, we'll just sit back and wait our turn. We'll be part of it one day.
And I know it could be great for you, because this is like in your backyard. I mean, you're from your ECW days, Philadelphia. I mean, it couldn't be better. Nearly sold out. It's going to be 15,000 strong at the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We'll get back to the Rumble in a second, but right now joining us on the phone, we've both been looking forward to this all day, which is basically the only reason Nunzio and I decided to do the show. Superstar Billy Graham is now on the phone, one of the members. Guys, I'm begging you, how about some applause for Superstar Billy Graham, one of the 50 greatest superstars of all time. Superstar, how you doing, pal? This is the coach and Nunzio.
Coach, I'm doing incredible, my man. I'm doing incredible, and it's a real pleasure and an honor being on the show today. It really is, and I want to thank the good Dr. Tom Pritchard for making the initial invitation, my man. And hey, first off, would you allow me to give the fans my website? My website, so that the fans that don't know me, the younger fans, might be able to go there and check out some of the classic Superstar Billy Graham photos. I think it would be a good thing. You know what I mean, brother?
Superstar, you can do whatever you want. This is your show, baby.
Okay, the Superstar's website is superstarbillygraham.com. And by the way, the email address that is on that website, Coach, is my real email address. My wife, of course, reads all the emails, and ones that are worth reading, she passes on to me, my brother. So I just wanted to pass that along to the newer fans, so they could maybe check out the Superstars website and see what the man is all about. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Well, we've got a lot of questions for you, a lot of emails for you. First off, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you how your holidays were.
Hey, man, the holidays were incredible. Now that I'm alive and living, because I was a walking dead man before my liver transplant, the holiday was incredible, brother. And I spent my entire holiday putting the finishing touches to my book, my autobiography, Tangled Ropes. And that autobiography, Coach, will be out in about a year.
Okay.
And one thing I wanted to mention to the fans is what they're going to get. By the way, I don't have a ghostwriter, Coach. I'm writing this thing myself. And
so it's going to be candid. It's going to be good.
Looking forward to it.
It's going to be good, right?
You know, one thing I'm proud about in this book is the fact that there are no lies in this book. And no deception. That's one thing I really liked about Lita's book. I was reading about the young lady in her pump days going through a dumpster diving, searching for Dunkin' Donuts in the dumpsters, but hindering her donut search was the coffee grinds on the donuts.
Yeah.
So it's honesty. You know, what I got here, Coach, in front of me is a copy of our buddy Hollywood Hulk Hogan's autobiography, and on page 23, the Hulkster says he was working at a bank in Tampa in 1971. I got to pass this along to the wrestling fans. The Hulkster says, as part of my training at the bank, I had to look up a bunch of files. Some of them were about wrestlers, guys that I knew. And when I looked into the files, I saw that even back in 1971, there were guys making $12,000 and $15,000 a week. My brother, I don't know why the Hulk, you know, I really admire this man, but I don't know why the man had to put blatant lies like payoffs of $15,000 a week in 1971. So, Coach, you're not going to find that in my book, my brother. You're not going to find that. You're going to find the truth. You're going to find the gospel truth in the Superstars book, you know, I tell you what I did, man. I kept a lot of my booking sheets and my payoff sheets through the years, you know. And I got a deal sitting right in front of me here, August 4th, 1984, Superstar Billy Graham versus world champion Ric Flair in Lakeland, Florida, main event. $350 payoff, my brother. So I just wanted to let the fans know that there will be no deception.
Gotcha.
No deception in the Superstars book. All right, my man?
I'm with you. We'll look forward to that 1 year from now. Now, moving on from that, I just showed everybody the copy of the 50 Greatest Superstars, and it's got to be great to be included with all the great names like The Rock, Mick Foley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Junkyard Dog, Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper, Sergeant Slaughter. What's it like to be mentioned among those names?
Coach, listen to me. The Superstar should be there, my man.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying.
I got to be there. I got the publisher would be amiss if the Superstar wasn't in the top 50. Now, I'm just joking, man. I think it's cool. It really is. You know, not because of anything I've done really that was so great, except for the influence I had on the business. You know, with the inspiration to the Hulkster and Jesse Ventura and all the guys, you know. So it's really an honor to be listed in that top 50, my man.
No, that's one of the next question I was actually going to ask you is, you know, you've often been called a trendsetter and one of the people who really transformed the business to where it is today. What's it like to see guys who are superstars now, really big stars, that have at least a little bit of what you did in your prime?
Oh, it's an incredible compliment. I mean, you know, when someone wants to pattern their career similar to yours, it's an incredible compliment. You know, the Hulkster took my persona to the T, you know, and I find that as a compliment, you know, because you must be doing something right, something good, you know, and of course my man Jesse Ventura, well, he copied me like to the T, you know. Jesse took everything I had and ran with it, and so it's great. It's really exciting to see guys like these two guys who are basically household names that took my gimmick, I influenced their careers, and then get the just due credit that I'm getting now. However, I got to straighten out one thing that is on the internet and different areas of discussion, that I've had a major influence on Scott Steiner. Mm-hmm. Now, see, that is not true, my man. I have not influenced Scott Steiner's career or his physique, and that's where most of the fans come to play. They think I've influenced his physique, but see, the man has an incredible physique, far better than the Superstars ever was. Now, the only thing I may have influenced on Scott Steiner might have been his two-tone goatee. I will take credit for influencing the man's two-tone.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Superstar. You influenced a lot of people's careers. But I have one question for you. After all these years being away from the business, how was it like being back at SummerSlam back in Phoenix?
Okay, SummerSlam was an incredible deal. It was absolutely incredible. I had not seen Vince McMahon face-to-face in 13 years. The last time I saw Vince face-to-face was on the Phil Donahue show in 1992 when it was an absolute disaster. And the last time I had been in a WWF event, at that time WWE now, was probably 14, almost 15 years. So to walk inside the American West Arena and be in that building and seeing all the guys, man, and of course seeing Vince for the first time in 13 years, well, especially the last time, was an absolute disaster. It was overwhelming. It was absolutely overwhelming, man. And I tell you what, let me tell you something, my brother. The guys, the boys, treated me so well Brock Lesnar, okay? Brock Lesnar, this guy, first of all, when I was walking down the hall looking to find the coach, I wanted to meet the coach. I wanted to shake the coach's hand and give him a hug. When I was looking for the coach, my wife and my daughter were in the canteen overflow room, and Brock Lesnar was hitting on my wife. The guy was hitting on the superstar's wife, brother. I'm telling you. I came back in the room in the canteen to take a break, man. And Valerie, my wife Valerie, leaned over and she says, "Honey, the big man over there has been hitting on me." And I said, "A good taste. The guy's got good." When I met Brock and I shook his hand, gave him a hug. He said, "Hey," he says, "I'm not so much as interested in meeting you as this beautiful lady next to you." Who is this lady? So that was incredible. It was a great deal, you know. And of course, meeting Kurt Angle, and Kurt said that he had watched some of my early matches, and I told him, "Well, obviously you didn't learn anything. But you may have been entertained, but you certainly didn't learn anything." But you know, it was just incredible how the guys, Triple H and Goldberg and all the guys treated me, you know, and you, Coach, you treated me like royalty, man. It was incredible, and the Dudleys, man. I mean, I was watching some of the matches with Bubba. Sitting next to Bubba, man, watching a monitor, and he picked up the phone and called his father-in-law, who was and still is a big fan of mine at that very moment. So it was huge, you know. It was a huge day and night for me. Of course, meeting Austin and Bischoff, Undertaker, all these guys, Tommy Dreamer. You know, what a gracious guy this guy was. Palumbo, you know, these Italian dudes, man, that probably saw me when they were young kids in the garden, you know, treated me so graciously. It was incredible. However, I got to say that I'm very disappointed in the way I was received by Jericho. Now, Jericho came by and walked by me, I think right after I was talking to Triple H, and Ric Flair came by me and tipped his hat and said, "Nice to see you, superstar," and kept on walking. And I said to my wife, I said, "Man," I said, "this guy, I wanted to sit down and talk with Chris Jericho and tell this guy what an incredible job he does on the microphone," because that was one of my skills was the microphone work, and I didn't even get a chance. The guy did not give me a chance to sit down, not to have him say, "When you're a president, superstar, and what you've done for the business is incredible," but I wanted to compliment this guy on his skills. But I was so disappointed that he didn't give me a brother. Very disappointed. Very disappointed. And also, I was very disappointed in Taz. I was disappointed in Taz because I didn't get to meet him. he was
should have said
busy.
you were disappointed in him. That would have made us feel good.
One of the guys I was Taz, man, and I still do, you know. And I tell you what, I'm gonna be real straight with you guys right now. The biggest problem I had at SummerSlam, among all the glory and all the excitement and all the guys treating me so good, man, with respect and dignity, was I had a huge problem with the road agent, Jack Lanza. This guy refused to shake my hand. This guy refused to look at me in the eye with the only good eye that he has. This man, and I found out later, probably 2 weeks later, by reading Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter, that Lanza was still is upset at me for my steroid stand in 1992 because he thought I was trying to kill the business. So this immature scum of the earth dude would not even give me the time of day and treated me like a mangy dog with rabies, treated me like I was the Antichrist. You understand what I'm talking about? And so I could not believe that this guy is so immature to think that that I tried to kill the business, and the very guy who owns the business, Vince McMahon, the guy who owns the whole deal, welcomed me with arms open. And this guy is so childish to actually still hold a grudge because I tried to, quote, kill the business with my steroid controversy. So I got to go on record as saying right there, Coach, that if I see this subhuman on the streets, I'm going to give him a bite this, and it's going to be my forearm in his mouth as his teeth is going out of his head. I would never do it in the building with a WWE performance going on. But if I ever see this man on the street, he does not treat superstar Billy Graham like I'm subhuman, because all he is a parasite, and I'm going on record with that, Coach.
I got you. And
okay,
as always, you're entitled to your opinion, and we respect that. And like you said, all of us have a deep respect for what you have done for the business, and everybody, you can't like everybody, isn't that right? You can't like everybody. But moving on to more positive things, Superstar, we're looking forward to WrestleMania 20. Obviously, it's going to be in Madison Square Garden. Do you think that you're going to be around the New York City area? You're going to be a part of the celebration at all?
This is what's going down, Coach. Vince invited me to go ahead and come up to WrestleMania with my wife, Valerie, but I said no because there's so much going on. There's so many people going to be there. It's such a huge event that I just didn't want to. There's just so much going on, you know, that I just didn't want to be there, and it's just. And Vince agreed. After Vince and I talked about it, he said, "Yeah," he says, because he wanted to introduce me, and you get lost in the mix, because in that building, where WrestleMania is going to be, I still hold the all-time highest percentage of sellouts in that building, which is 19 out of 20 sellouts in the main event category. Solid. Now, I don't have the most sellouts because I wasn't Bruno Sammartino or Bob Backlund, who had the longest runs. But with my short run, I had the highest percentage, and the only non-sellout of that building, Coach, was against Peter High Chief Peter Maivia, and we only drew 18,600 people, which is about 2,000 short of a sellout. So that's my mark on that building. That's what I mean in professional wrestling, to that building. But it just we're just going to wait and come up another time, you know.
I get you, but it is a holy grail. There's no disputing that, Madison Square Garden. Last question, because we got to run. We got a lot else to get to, but you've been a great guest, as we knew you would be, and it's an honor for us to have you on the show. But last question, you mentioned Vince several different times, and a lot of fans, whenever we talk to him, the first question they ask us is, what is Vince McMahon like? What is your relationship like with Vince McMahon? What is your relationship like with the McMahon family, either now or what's it like today?
Okay, Coach, this is the deal. This is the deal in a nutshell. Vince McMahon, I had abused this man's name and business because of the steroid issue with Hulk Hogan and so on. I abused him so bad and scandalized his company so bad and filed fictitious lawsuits against Vince McMahon that were groundless. That it was absolutely pathetic the way I had turned on Vince. This man, I wrote this man a letter in 1996. I have the original letter in my office, asking and receiving an apology. I apologized to Vince. I begged for forgiveness for my transgression, and this man has totally forgiven me for all the crap that I dumped on him. This man, with nothing to gain, Coach, nothing to gain except the quality of his character, has received me as his brother. This man called me the day I went in to receive my liver transplant. The one hour before they cut me open, dude, Vince McMahon, along with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jesse Ventura, were on the phone with me saying they're praying for me and they're pulling for me, man, and they want this thing to be a success. So Vince McMahon, This man has more character in one hair on the thick head of hair he's got than Jack Lanza has ever had in his entire lifetime. Vince McMahon and Linda are people of character. That's what you've got to know that people don't know about this man. I would also like to say that his character, Coach, is probably the best, most unique character in the history of our business. This is absolutely unbelievable, the talent that Vince McMahon has coming to his in-ring character. But that's the deal. The guy, I love this man. This man has forgiven me with no strings attached. This man is going to publish my life story, my autobiography. This man has accepted me back into the family with no strings attached and no hard things. This is a man of quality character.
Well, there you have it. All right. Well, Superstar Billy Graham, one of the top 50 superstars of all time. We appreciate the time. We know you're a busy man. And, well, we look forward to seeing you. I don't know when, if not WrestleMania 20, hopefully soon. And then your autobiography 1 year from this month, it looks like, right?
That's it, my man.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. It's an honor for
guys.
us. Thank you very much.
All right.
Good luck, Superstar.
All right. That is Superstar Billy Graham. Needless to say, the one and only, and Nunzio, on Bite This, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, you can read all the magazines you want, you can watch Confidential, you can watch Raw and SmackDown, but you just got some stuff right there that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Certainly not, and it's also a surprise for me because, like he said before, I've been to Madison Square Garden many times where he wrestled Bob Backlund and Swede Hansen back in 78, 79, and 80. So I've been a part of that, and just hearing him mention it, and now, 20-something years later, I'm sitting here working for the same company that he did, different name now, WWE, and got a chance to talk to the Superstar for the second time.
Wasn't
I
that
met him
great?
in Phoenix the first time.
You know, I think we're going to throw a bone out this afternoon. We're going to throw a bone to all the
Everybody's
fans.
getting a treat.
Everybody's getting a treat. Everybody's
today.
getting a treat. And a lot of people out there may be listening to Superstar Billy Graham, not familiar with Superstar Billy Graham, some of our younger fans. And there is going to be something created. I can't really give it away yet, but in the next few months, to where if people aren't familiar with some of the older stars from the 70s, from the 80s, from the 60s, and that they're going to be able to be caught up on those in a very easy way. And it's going to be a tremendous thing for all of our fans out there. So stay tuned for that. So hopefully by the middle of 2004, that will be in place. So just a little bone, file it away, and
just a year
we'll
away.
So don't forget, if you have any questions, 1-888-LIVE-WWE. And who's on the phone now? Really, we have I told you we were going to have a surprise guest. And this is a guy you're very familiar with. So why don't you welcome him to the show?
Lance Storm, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear from you.
Hey, Lance, this is the coach. What's going on, pal?
Oh, not too much. Just relaxing at home for a change.
Nice. Are you up in Calgary, north of the border?
Yes, Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
It's probably pretty warm. What is it, 70, 80 right now?
Yeah, maybe a little less than that, yeah. Probably closer to 7 or 8.
We got some flurries here ourselves right now going on.
You know, Lancer, we have almost a Royal Rumble-type feel today on Bite This with Nunzio from SmackDown, of course, you from Raw, I'm from Raw. And as we head forward towards the Royal Rumble, I'm certain that you're going to be a part of the Royal Rumble match. Are you going to bring any women with you? I mean, that's what I'm concerned with.
You're hoping, are you?
I'm hoping, because lately
important.
you've had some nails on the show.
Yeah, it might be a little bit difficult for the Royal Rumble match, though. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see.
Now we wanted to talk with you about, because going back to the ECW days, talk about your relationship and your memories with little Guido from the ECW days.
Guido. Everybody loved Guido. Actually, he earned a lot of respect from me when he left the FBI. For those of you who don't know, he tagged with Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich as part of the FBI. And they did a lot of comedy and entertainment in addition to wrestling. And Guido decided that he wanted to concentrate more on wrestling and went out on his own. And a lot of people told him he was crazy, and he went out and succeeded tremendously. So he earned a lot of respect from me that day.
Well, I appreciate that, Lance Storm. It's funny because he did actually what he just said right here. He pulled me one time aside, I don't know if you remember or not, in ECW when I started doing the cruiserweight thing by myself there, and said that he was actually proud of me and he was liking my matches and stuff. So I do appreciate that, Lance. Thank you.
No problem, man. You got to respect talent. And Guido, or Nunzio, has a lot of it.
We know coming up next after you, Lance, we have Dawn Marie calling in, and you've said, I guess you've gone on record as saying that working with her was one of the highlights of your career. Is this true?
Oh yeah, I'd give my eye teeth to have her back and working with her again.
They had some good chemistry, them guys.
We did, and we had so much fun.
Tell us why. Kind of explain to the fans why it was such a highlight to work with her.
I don't know. We just clicked right from day one. You know, we had chemistry together, and you didn't have to take her by the hand. You didn't have to, purposely try to, make sure she, was featured and so forth. She just had a way of featuring herself and not distracting from anything else. She just had a tremendous presence. I guess it's just I don't get to experience it anymore. Just such a great presence and personality that she just knows what this business is about and how to deal with herself and others. It's great.
We know you have a new that's not even a word, is it? Redesigned website, stormwrestling.com. Is Bookmarks going to continue, and kind of explain to the people what Bookmarks is?
Yeah, Bookmarks is definitely going to continue. That's my bi-monthly book club. We read a book. I've been fortunate enough that I've contacted enough authors that usually the book that I pick, the author takes part. So when everybody sends in their thoughts on the book, the author himself reads them and gives us some feedback. So it's a lot of fun. I'm just in the process of trying to change my domain name from the old site to the new site, which is turning out to be a huge headache because despite the hours I spend online, I am completely inept.
No.
Yes.
Well, let's go to the phones real quick. We've got Alexander from California on the phones. Alexander, you're on with Lance Storm. Go ahead.
Yo, Lance, what's up?
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I just want to know, where's William Regal?
He's still out waiting medical clearance. When he left, I guess right before WrestleMania when we were tagging, he had some heart trouble, and he still has yet to have clearance. He feels great, he looks great, and he's been back in the ring, but he's not been given full medical clearance yet to compete. So until that time occurs, he's still at home.
You know, we're throwing bones out today, Lance, and one of the bones we're going to throw out is the fact that a April pay-per-view is going to be coming to Alberta. It's a Raw pay-per-view. Talk a little bit about maybe the possibility of wrestling in front of your fans at home. I know it doesn't get to happen very often, especially these days that we're in Calgary or near Edmonton, but it's going to come in April. We're going to be in Calgary for the pay-per-view, apparently.
I was told actually it's going to be in Edmonton.
All right,
I don't know which is the way. It'll be either in
Calgary is Raw the next night, so we're going to do Edmonton and do Calgary.
Yeah, I think the TV is going to be in Calgary, which it was always a lot of fun, and the pay-per-view in Edmonton should be a blast. And hopefully by April we won't be in the 7 or 8 degree mark either. So I don't know. Calgary fans, and even Edmonton fans, Alberta fans in general, they grew up on so much Stampede wrestling, which was so ahead of its time with just the technical wrestling ability and the amount of stuff that they did. That we just got some really educated and really tremendous wrestling fans that always appreciate what you put out in the ring. So it's always a lot of fun to wrestle in front of them, and they're usually tremendously rowdy and excited. So it should be a great event.
We had Superstar Billy Graham on a few moments ago, and we're talking about some of the magazines that are out right now, and one of the ones that is getting a lot of pub is the 50 Greatest Superstars of All Time. I don't know if you have seen it or got a chance to read it, but speaking of Stampede Wrestling and all of that, two of the wrestlers that are out of the 50 are, of course, Bret the Hitman Hart and Chris Jericho, which obviously got their start up there as well. Talk a little bit about some of the greatest wrestlers of all time and the history that Calgary Stampede Wrestling has.
Yeah, the Hart family and Stampede Wrestling is what really put it on the map. But there's a lot of guys. Dynamite Kid, I think, is one of the most standout performers that came through here. Stu brought him over from England, and I think he really set the bar high. They got a lot of guys like Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, myself, and other guys that came through here really struggled to attain and reach that level of competition. I think some of the best matches when I first started becoming a fan that I marked out for was Bret Hart versus the Dynamite Kid. Like, those guys were just incredible, and it's guys like that really set the stage in Calgary. And I think it's a lot of how high is the bar they set is why the guys that came out of here worked so hard.
Very good, very good. Well, Lancer, we're running a little bit short on time. We've got a loaded show, and even more loaded since you are a surprise guest this afternoon, so we appreciate it. So we're going to let you get back to relaxing, and, of course, I will look forward to seeing you this Monday. You've got a long trek, my friend. I know you're going to be at the shows this weekend in up north in the eastern part of Canada, then down here at the Nassau Coliseum Monday night for Raw.
Yeah, I got some miles to travel. Be sure to say hi to your next guest and tell her I'll give her a call this weekend.
I will do it. We'll pass along the message.
Take care, Lance.
All right,
See you at the Rumble.
All right, that's Lance Storm. And one quick note, you can check out Lance's True False, which is currently posted on WWE.com. So far, Nunzio, let's do a little. Wait, we want to go to the phone? We have a question for Nunzio. Well, we just go hit and miss. All right, let's go back to the phones real quick. Dan from Florida, you're on with Nunzio from the FBI. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Nunzio?
What's going on, Danny? You gotta speak up a little bit, can you?
You got to yell, Dan, or you're on the cell phone, I think.
No, a house phone.
Or you're on the house phone, too. Go ahead. What's your question?
When are you going for the Cruiserweight title?
When am I going? Well, the Cruiserweight title, of course, is always going to be in my vision. That would be
Well, of course.
Coach, of course. But right now, I'm dealing with a lot of other issues in the WWE right now, me and my two partners. So as soon as we get through a few people there and take care of some situations, I will definitely be shooting for the Cruiserweight title. But as of now, everybody's fighting for it, of course. You got Tajiri, we got the new champion now, Ray. We have the problem going on with Jamie Noble and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff concerning the Cruiserweight title right now. So I'm going to wait for it all to die down and make my attack when I'm ready.
That's what I was going to say. You guys kind of have a mantra for kind of sliding in the back door, coming in when people don't expect it.
And that's what we love to do.
You're good at it, my friend.
Yeah.
You're good at it. So very, very good answer. Dan, appreciate the call. Dan from Florida. Now, kind of recap the show so far. We've had Draws on, who was very entertaining. Superstar Billy Graham, who was very entertaining.
Oh, he
Lance
was.
Storm, who was very entertaining. That was great.
Now it's time for some looks.
Now it's time for some looks. One of our favorite divas of all time.
We got another hour left, right, at least?
Well, we're going to have her on for an hour.
Okay.
Because she is great. She is beautiful. She is hot. How many more ways do I have to describe her?
I can think of a few more.
She is in the February edition of SmackDown Magazine. We've already showed you there's a thing in here on Draws. Hot enough for you. Let's take out the... Get that out of here.
You see that, too.
Go ahead, pull that out. Hot enough for you. Dawn Marie is just about the most gorgeous woman on the planet. Here's some proof. Oh, and we are... Just go ahead and hold it up as we introduce her. Put her back up on the screen.
Hey,
Thank you.
There we go.
Being the director of this show. Dawn Marie, we are honored and privileged to have you on Bite This. Nunzio and the coach here.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How are you doing?
How are you?
I didn't want to interrupt you because I wanted to just hear all the things you have to say about me.
Oh, we have a lot more good things to say about you.
Oh, yeah?
We had like a 20-minute introduction, but they're saying, get to her, get to her, get to her.
Well, I'll give you another 20 minutes if you want to keep talking like that.
Oh, girlfriend, you know how much we love you. Well, what's been going on with yourself lately?
Oh, not too much. How about you guys?
Well, we're just hanging here having a great time hosting Bite This. I told Nunzio, I said, you're going to be too good on the show today. Oh, my God. How am I supposed to concentrate when you put that picture up on the screen? You
What
can't be
picture do you
serious.
have on the screen? I'm
Oh, it's a good one, Dawn. Don't worry.
Oh, you're outdoors. It looks like.
Look
Where's
at
that
Schimmel.
picture from?
Schimmel's having a hard time there.
I'm not looking at Schimmel. I'm look.
Nah, that's not.
Oh, it was over in Baghdad just recently.
Oh.
Which was going to be one of the questions I asked you, but since we're showing the picture now,
That's not Schimmel,
let's
yeah.
go ahead and ask you about that right now. What was that trip like for you?
That was a great experience. I was so happy that I was able to go and that I was asked to go because at first I wasn't on the list to go. And they made some changes and they asked me to go, and I was like, yeah, definitely. And it was the best experience of my life. It definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things in life. So I would say it's life-changing. It was a great experience.
I think from this picture you changed a lot of lives of the...
Especially with them guys. They've been there for so long right now.
You know, I had to change a few things. I don't know if I changed their life.
I think the divorce rate with those boys went up a little bit, but I know that everybody that I've talked to and has been gone on record as saying that it was one of those most impactful experiences that they've ever had.
Yeah, definitely. It was just one of those things. You know, when I was out there, you know, I knew it was a great experience, and I knew that you know, so much was happening so quick. We were so busy, and we were just trying to see as many trips as we can. But it really didn't hit me until I got home, and I was able to just sit back and think about all the experiences I had.
What was the one thing, if you could pick one thing out of the few days that you were over there, what was the one thing you most enjoyed about the trip?
Let's see, puking in my helmet. The ride was a little rough. I had the one ride. We were on the one plane, and then the second plane we came in on. I think they showed on the video where we're sitting up against the wall, and that was going into Baghdad. So when you land into a battle zone or a war zone, they have to come in real straight, and they kind of turn the plane, and I get motion sickness real easy. And I jetted for the bathroom, and I just got sick there. And then, as soon as we landed, we got on a shuttle, and then they brought us to a helipad, and we had to go on to a Black Hawk about 20 minutes later, and I just knew that was it. I was done, and the closest thing to me was a helmet. And I was thrown up in there, too, so that was kind of an experience.
Yeah, well, it's been an experience for everybody. At least she was lucky enough to get it, because not everybody got a chance to go.
I would have been there to console you, though.
But, Dormer, we have one question I got to ask you, because we're getting about 500 emails on it. And everybody wants to know, Coach, I'm sure you want to know this, too.
Mine was one of the 500 emails.
No, I think you was 450 of them came from you.
I swear.
Dormer, everybody wants to know, will you pose in Playboy?
Would I pose in Playboy? The one thing I've learned in this business is never say never.
That's true.
Because the second you say it, the offer's on the table.
So what you're telling us is that there's a chance. There's a chance and a possibility that she's going to pose in Playboy, Coach.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would definitely pose for Playboy if the opportunity came. Hopefully they give me enough time to diet down, but it would be a great experience.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, girlfriend, we're looking at the pictures right now. Diet down does not need to be in your vocabulary.
But she has to say
Coach would be hired as my personal, he'd have to oil me down. Make sure that I look real lean and muscular.
Who would? Who would?
Coach.
Oh, yes! Oh. Yes! Darn it.
Yeah, I can't say Nunzio because, Nunzio's like a brother to me. I've known him, Scott, 7 years, 8 years, then?
Probably about 9 years.
Yes.
But that's okay. I don't mind. Can I just come and watch him? You
can watch as long as I get to oil her down.
Okay.
I am holding you to that because I swear if you ever did, I would be there.
I'd have you there with the big fan, the feather fan, and your job would be that and to oil me down.
Huh.
How's that? Make sure the sheets were creased perfectly.
That would be great. That would be great. And I guarantee I would not be able to function when we were done with that. I promise. Well, we just had... I'm just going to have to take a second. I'm sorry. I'm just going to take a second.
Lance Storm?
I'm losing my thought process. I'm sorry, Don.
Sorry, Coach. I don't get to see you very often. I have to...
I know, baby. I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks, though.
I know, Royal Rumble.
I know, and I feel bad because all the girls on Raw get to see me every week, and they get the pleasure of that, and you really don't.
I know. I'm going to have to, maybe we could have a date in catering.
That would be great. That would be great. I'll even fix your plate for you.
Thanks.
We had Lance Storm on just a few minutes ago, and he had nothing but glowing things to say about you and your relationship back in the ECW. And a lot of people wonder if you'd ever like to jump from SmackDown to Raw and possibly reunite with a Lance Storm. And he says hello, by the way, and he's going to call you this weekend.
I know. If I could, I have to say this quiet because I'm home. He is the most perfect man in the entire universe. I love him professionally and personally. He's just amazing. I really do credit him with a lot of my success. I really... if I didn't have him when I went to ECW, I probably would not have made it through that locker room.
Right.
He protected me. He taught me. He really took that extra, 10, 15 minutes to sit down with me and explain everything that was going on. And because I was just so green when I went there, and I was with the likes of him, Tammy Lynn Sitch, Chris Candido, Shane Douglas, like all these veterans, and then here I was, straight off the indies, not even knowing basically what's the difference between a hard camera and a soft camera. And he would always pull me to the side and, make sure that no one really knew and explain to me what I needed to do, why I needed to do it, and just taught me so much, and he was patient. And then he also went to bat and put his neck on the line many a times to protect me, and I'll forever be grateful for that. And, never once said an off-color word, never hit on me, never felt any, sexual attraction. It was just...
What's wrong with him?
What? I knew it.
What is this?
I told you, Coach. You owe me 10. I had the odds on that one. I had the odds. Pay it up.
I'm going to pay right now. I got to pay right now. I just lost the bet.
Coach, that's a 5. I said 10.
I'll get you. I'll get you. All I got's a 5.
All right.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, Don, I apologize. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Director, if you ever put a picture of Paul Heyman up on the screen again when I'm doing this show, I will quit. I swear to God, I will quit. Don't ever do that again. You had Don Marie, that looked great. Then you have Paul Heyman. All right, now enough of the serious stuff.
But what about this other question?
We have another serious question for you, Don.
Okay.
We have a question from Jonathan from California, and he would like to know, after the SmackDown taping, in the Halloween SmackDown taping, who helped you clean off all the chocolate?
Who helped me clean up all the chocolate?
Off your body.
I know.
That's Jonathan from California, not Jonathan from Connecticut. Do you not remember?
I remember.
That was the last time you and I saw each other.
I guess she ain't letting any answers.
No answers.
She ain't letting any answers.
No
out.
answers.
Sorry, John.
All right, we have to go to the phones, right? We have somebody. You know, what a shock we have.
Actually, I have to tell you.
What?
Someone did help me.
Oh,
Initials.
who?
Sable.
Oh,
Yes!
I like that too.
Yes!
I like that.
We like that too.
I was gonna be jealous with another guy. Another girl is okay, Couch.
All right, let's have that's
Couch.
2 bite this moment. So, all right, let's take
This
2
is a
seconds,
true
Nunzio.
story. I was walking down the hallway back to the locker room,
Details. I like details.
and here comes my very good friend Sable. And she says, Dawn Marie, did they use real chocolate? And I said, yeah. And she said, can I taste it? And I said, sure.
So
And she
she
said, oh my
licked it
God,
off
it is
of
real
you?
chocolate.
So you're saying
Yeah.
So you're saying that she licked it off of you?
I'm not saying if she licked it off me. I'm just saying she knew it was real chocolate.
Well, you don't know how many times I hear that too. Anyway, we got to go to the phones now. And John from Georgia is on with Dawn Marie. John, this better be good because I got my hand on the button. You're on with Dawn Marie.
Hey, Don, how are you?
Keep it clean.
Hi.
Well, you just commented about you and Sable. That was probably the best moment of my life.
Really? Mine too.
Actually, I want to know, how are you feeling about being the assistant for Paul Heyman? Do you see yourself moving up to maybe be the assistant for Vince McMahon one day?
I love being Paul's assistant. Paul and I have a lot of history. So I get Paul. Paul gets me, and we're kind of on the same wavelength on a lot of things. So I think it's great chemistry, and we never know what to expect between the two of us. It could be trouble.
You know, that's just one thing. You know, as much as I love Dawn Marie, and always have, and Don, you know, you and I have gotten along since day one, and there's always been a little tension there, and you know what kind of tension I'm talking about. But the fact that you hang out with him, with the slime ball, the sleaze ball, Paul Heyman, that's the only thing. If there is anything that I can't like about you, it's only that.
Well, you know, I have a saying I live by, it's only trouble when you get caught. Well, you're only sleazy and slimy when you get caught, too.
Oh, I guess that's true. So I'll definitely see you in Philly. No.
No.
Are you trying to say you are like the company that you keep?
One more time?
So you're trying to say that because Paul's slimy and sleazy, that I have to be slimy and sleazy?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I'm going to agree with you. I like Paul Heyman. I don't think he's slimy and sleazy. I think he's a good man.
Well,
He's
of
a good
course, because
guy.
he's your boss.
No, he ain't our boss no more. Huh.
Yes, he is.
He's kind of running the show a little bit. I mean, it's, you know.
Oh, he just
General manager of SmackDown, Nunzio.
Yes, he
Right.
is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that's what I'm
He's
saying.
the big boss.
He's the big boss.
Yeah.
Well, Don, we have another guy on the phone for you from New Jersey. Freddie, you're on with Dawn Marie. Make it good, pal.
Hey, Dawn. First off, I want to say that I think you're very beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I was just wondering if you would ever consider going to Raw and fighting for the women's championship. Is that a goal of yours, or?
Well, I love wrestling. I think it's a great addition to my career. I started off as a manager, and I love wrestling. And but right now, I think I have a lot of unfinished business over at SmackDown, and just starting my my relationship with Paul Heyman. I think I can get a lot more done over at SmackDown before I go over to look for the title, that's always going to be there. So I can go over there. You never know. I might be there at the Royal Rumble fighting for that title. What do you think? What do you want me to do?
I think we cut them off because that's what I like to do on the show. They get one question, they get cut off because I don't want to hear them.
Oh, you don't
Pretty
want
much, yeah, that's the way when I run the show. That's how we do it.
I like the way you operate.
Thank you
Josh
very
just
much.
keeps them on forever.
I know. Josh is so wishy-washy. There's only one way to run this show, and that's get on, get off, make it good, shut up. Now, I just want to make sure, because we're almost running out of time here, Don, and I'm yelling at the director for not giving you more time on the show because you were the one I was most looking forward to talking to.
Listen, you guys all know me. You know I talk too much. How can you only give me 15 minutes?
Well, see, it wasn't my call. I got here a little bit late today, and this was the time allotted. But I just want you to know that come Philadelphia, I will be standing at the door with arms wide open.
All right.
Waiting for you.
Okay.
Waiting for you in Philadelphia, which is a place that you and Nunzio and everybody that has any ECW ties whatsoever are all too familiar with. So you have to be excited to be going to Philadelphia.
I am. I'm really excited. My career pretty much started there, and to be able to work for the WWE and be there working the Royal Rumble and just such a huge pay-per-view is it's a great success. I feel really honored and privileged to be there. And when you look, there's no better feeling, I know, for myself as a performer, to when you're at the top of that ramp at a pay-per-view and you look down, and you think about all you did to get there. And it's like, wow, it was worth it. Absolutely.
One last very quick question, and then me and Nunzio will have to wrap things up. New Year's resolutions, and what do you think that 2004 will hold for your fine self?
My New Year's resolution for 2004, to get a date with Coach.
Always the right answer.
She knows how to do it. She knows how to do it.
Always the right answer. Well, I'm only one phone call away, girlfriend.
How do you like that?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. And
hey, Dawn, I'll tell you what. Hey, I'm going to give you his phone number right now.
Right here.
1, 2.
Well, girlfriend, it's a pleasure having you on. You're always a delight. And have a great week, and travel safe this weekend. And I know you're going to be at SmackDown next week at Mohegan Sun. So if everybody's in the Northeast, you can come see Dawn Marie at SmackDown next week.
But, Coach, I don't want you to get jealous, because before you hug her at the Royal Rumble, Saturday in Michigan, I will be there at the door with my arms.
You guys have a huge live event.
Me and Nunzio are buddies, man. We hang out on the road. So he's going to probably get to me first.
So I'll probably see you first.
All right, well, that's okay.
We're doing the Michigan.
I'm willing to bide my time.
That 5:25 flight the other day, Nuns.
Yes, I know.
And,
for
a lot of the fans out there who've never, they always say, are the Divas really hot in person? The answer is yes. But then when you see them at 5 in the morning and they're still hot, that's when you know they're fine.
And Dawn Marie
she's
is still
fine
hot
at 5 in the morning. Yes, I know. She's hot at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, well, girlfriend, they're giving me the wrap-up signal. And I do what I want. But we got to let you go because we got to get out of here because we got things we got to do. But we'll see you at the Royal Rumble. God bless you. And you're fine. You're fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome, baby. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye-bye. The one and only Dawn Marie.
Always a pleasure.
Show that picture one
Always
more time.
A pleasure.
Show the picture one more time. Okay. For everybody out there, I know it's not going to be on sale for 2 more weeks, but show them. Go ahead.
Oh, that's the brawler.
No. You're showing a picture of the brawler, although we love brawler.
There we go.
Oh.
That's a different one.
Oh, that's a different one.
That's a good one, too, though.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can we see that one there? Well, my head's
She is so damn hot. Other way. You gotta, right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah, that's the upper 2 or 1% of this world right there, and we get to talk to her and see her. So we got one more page. Give me this real quick. We got one more freaking page. What's the last freaking page? You have to talk about the Rumble. Well, no, we're going to talk about the Rumble. I'm begging you guys, when you call me in here, we do our own thing. Nunzio, they have all kinds of stuff on there. Royal Rumble, of course, it's 2 weeks away, live on pay-per-view Sunday, January 24th. We now know. We've got a few minutes left. Shut up. We've got a few minutes left. We're going to talk about the matches that have already been set. We know the last man standing. I want to get your comments on it. Triple H, Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight title.
I'll tell you, that's going to be a toss-up. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's going to be a tremendous match. But I can't call that one. I would stay away from that one.
What about the SmackDown main event? I know you're very close to that. You got Hardcore, you got Brock Lesnar, you got the WWE Championship on the line.
Well, there's been a lot of hype towards that match. And Hardcore Holly, he's pissed and he's after Brock. And from the looks of it, Brock's been running and ducking lately, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to give Hardcore Holly on that.
I don't think people can hear you. There we go. There we go. We got the great technologies with your microphone came on for a second.
Well, I don't know where the microphone came off, so did they hear?
That's all right. Well, we'll move on to the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
A match that you could be a part of.
The 30-man Royal Rumble. Well, I hope I am a part of that. As of now, they only told a couple guys that are going to be in there. Of course, the number one. Do you know who number one is? Nobody knows yet.
No, I do know who number one is. But I think I'm going to find out tonight on SmackDown. Yeah, I think I'm going to find out tonight on SmackDown who the number one is. How about that? How about that?
They thought it was coming.
Yeah.
They thought it was coming.
Find out tonight. You got to tune in to SmackDown. 8 o'clock on UPN.
But again, I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully I can be part of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, what else is on there before we sign off? This has been a great show, by the way, and you're welcome, all you fans out there, that you got Nunzio from the FBI, you had the coach in the brand new studio, and you didn't have to deal with Josh Matthews this week.
The first of the new year, and it starts with the split.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Raw and SmackDown present Bite This for 1 week only, because next week Dr. Tom is back, and hopefully Josh Matthews won't be out sick. What a wuss. You're out sick on the first Bite This of the new year, but that's what it's all about. Showing up and doing your job is exactly what we're doing. We're going to have Christian on the phone next week, and there's no way I can do the show next week because Sheriff Austin will be on the phone next week, and I damn sure am not going to talk to him.
Stay away from him.
And coming up on Confidential, I recently had to sit down next to Sheriff Austin and do an Outside the Ropes feature, and that was enough for me. That gave me enough of the shivers and quivers. And
you're good for a couple of weeks now, Coach.
I'm good for a couple of weeks.
Chill out and you relax. You do the show with Nunzio when we do it from now on.
That would be great. I will call you. That's the only way I'm going to do this show. Mark that down. If I host, Nunzio's my co-host.
Well, the last time we were here, we had a blackout the last time. Short-circuited the whole world. The whole world. 4 minutes in the show, poof, gone. Couldn't even get home.
I think a lot of people thought that was your fault. That the FBI had circumvented something.
Well, they wanted, they're supposed to write me a check to be on the show, and the check wasn't there. So I had to make my calls. I talked to a few people. But I told them, just tighten tower zap. I didn't say zap the whole world. But coaching got connections like myself. I get out of control. I can't handle it. I short circuit the whole world.
I don't. Hey, well, no short circuit this week. We want to thank. Well, real quick, I know we got to get this in. To all of our great fans over in the UK, I'll get it in. Royal Rumble will be available in the UK. For all the details, log on to royalrumble.com to find out how you can watch the Royal Rumble, which is just about 18 days away, live on January 24th. It's a Sunday from the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia, PA. Quick thank you to Draws, Superstar Billy Graham, Lance Storm, and, of course, Don Marie. For Nunzio, I'm the coach. Peace.